Alright, this should be our last video. We're looking at relative minimum and relative maximum, and we're also looking at global minimum and global maximum. So if you look at where it says to find the relative minimum and relative maximum, you're going to see a range. You're going to do a domain range right here. So what they're asking you to do is they're asking you to look at the x's in between. So you see how x is in between -7 and 6. So that's what we're looking at. So this is my x-axis. Is that correct? So I'm going to block the portions out from where x is equal to -7 to x is equal to 6. So here's my -7. I'm going to assume that's -7. And here's my 6. So you see how that's my x right here is x is equal to -7. And that's my x is equal to 6. So I'm going to block that portion out. So all I'm looking at is in between right here. I'm going to ignore the other side of the graph. So your relative minimum and relative maximum, or your minimum and maximum, will always lie on this little hills and valleys. So this is my valley, that's my hill. Now just in between this portion, the lowest valley that I have would be this point right here. So that would be my relative minimum. And my hill right there on the top, in this portion, that's my highest hill that I have. So it will be my relative maximum. Not too bad. Now we're looking at global minimum and global maximum. I just wrote it as just maximum and minimum, which is not too bad. So now we're looking at this entire function, out of this entire graph. The lowest point that we have is this point right here that I'm circling. So that point right there should be my global minimum. And my relative maximum is still the highest hill that I have. So that one will still be my global maximum. Not too bad. So when I flip back to number 3, I want you guys to try the same thing. They're going to give you a range where you can look at. So try to define your relative minimum, relative maximum. And for instance, I'm not sure what I asked you to block off. I might have just forgot about it. If I just look at from here to, I don't know, here, that would be my relative maximum. And this will be my relative minimum. Now when I look at the entire picture, this right here would be global minimum, and that right there would still be my global maximum. Now let's go back to number 1. We gotta learn something called turning points. It really means exactly what it says, where it turns. For example, I'm driving down the hill. Oh, guess what I did? I turned. So that point right there is my turning point. Once again, I'm driving up the hill. Oh, look, I'm turning right here. So that's going to be my turning point. Continue on. That's going to be my turning point. So at this point, we have 3 different turning points. You do not have to indicate exact points where it's turning, but I do need for you to indicate, TP for turning points on the graph. So that will be my turning point, and that will be also my turning point. So if I go to number 3, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different turning points on number 3. I hope this video helped, and this should be my last video as far as the characteristics of polynomials and the behavior goes. Next video that I'm videoing should be on whether or not the leading coefficient of these graphs are negative or positive. So look forward to it and practice these and finish the worksheet that I gave you, and I hope to see you soon.